this week on Comic Confidential, Amy loves on Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I hate on Supergirl, and Troy hates on The Walking Dead. And for once, nobody hates on Gotham. Or do they?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Comic Confidential, the weekly podcast where we bring you all the week's comic-related news and break down the top moments from all your favorite DC and Marvel TV shows. I'm your host, Troy. Alongside me today, as always, is Cade.
Hello.
And Amy.
Hello.
She's back.
She's back.
She was never going to miss this
back
one.
Again.
Oh my God, some Backstreet Boys action. That was Backstreet Boys, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I know my boy bands.
Yeah, you do.
Good.
What's up, everyone?
It's been a big week, man.
Yeah.
Not in news, because there's been nothing happening there.
There's nothing in news. But it's been a good week of TV shows and movies, I guess. Mm-hmm. All in the lead up to the big CW crossover.
Oh, damn. Next week is going to be a killer.
Killer crossover, son. It's going to be amazing. And we're going to dedicate an entire episode to that, I would say.
Nah, it's not worth it.
Sure it is.
No,
It's going to be effing amazing. I don't even want to swear. I want to honor it in just
You're
pure
going to taint
goodness.
its name.
Yeah.
you're being very CW about it right now.
Yeah.
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 Hey,
What?
should we get into some news?
Okay, let's
let's
do it.
just not muck around. So, first bit of news. It seems like Kevin Smith is open to an animated adaptation of Superman Lives, which was his failed 1996 rendition of the return to the Superman story starring Nicolas Cage, which I'm sure you've all seen on the internet. The pictures of Nicolas Cage in that hideous looking plastic Superman suit.
There's actually like a good reason to why that suit looked like that.
Oh,
It was shit.
You've seen the documentary.
Yeah.
So fill me in.
I can't remember. It was so long ago.
No,
No, but
1996.
because I think that was still like prototyping stages.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like blown completely out of proportion to, oh, look how fucking ridiculous that looks. They're like still trying to find a suit that would like bend with his arms and not crease and look shit.
It looked ridiculous. You know what else looked ridiculous? His receding forehead and then his super long Con Air hair at the back.
It looked amazing.
He could
Let's
have
be real.
braided it.
All you need is for him to just step off the plane and have his hair just blowing in the wind a la Con Air, and the movie would have been perfect.
That would have been great.
So basically what he was on a Facebook Q&A, and he's essentially said, oh, look, I think that'd be a great idea for an animated movie. That's up to Warner Brothers, though, but if they're keen on doing it, I'm keen. He had some ideas about who he wanted for the voices and everything as well. So he was still looking at Nicolas Cage for Superman, because Nicolas Cage is still around. He wants Michael Rooker for Lex Luthor. If you don't know who Michael Rooker is, that's Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy, amongst other things, many other things. So, what are your thoughts on an animated Kevin Smith version of Superman Lives? Okay.
I think that would probably be one of the worst things. I mean, his script was absolutely shunned by everyone because he was only a script writer on it to begin with, and he wasted millions of dollars doing it.
So to the point that they actually got other people in to rewrite.
I think they got like 3 other writers in to like try fix his work, and like Kevin Smith he's not ashamed of making shit movies. Well, it's kind of his thing.
More so now than then, but that was kind of when he was
first starting out. Really
close to into I would almost say close to into his prime would be around that time and into the early 2000s. But that's as a director / writer. But this, maybe not.
Yeah, like, Kevin Smith, cool guy and all, and like has fantastic dreams, and I mean, we all do, right?
Not afraid to shed a tear.
Yeah, not afraid to shed a tear, that's for sure. But man, sometimes dreams are just dreams, and
they should stay there.
Yeah, like this, I don't think this would work.
Amy,
I agree, and bringing Nicolas Cage back into it, I don't think would be the best move. Probably.
Yeah. I think that would probably be the best thing about it, just for the sake that it's Nicolas Cage and he wouldn't turn it down.
Well, that's true.
That's true.
But then would anyone watch it is the question.
Well,
Well,
I
yeah.
think everyone would watch it. I just think it would be shit.
They would hate themselves afterwards.
I think you've got guaranteed attention to this movie if you get Nick Cage involved, just purely so people can see how Nick Cage, does this job and sort of how much, because he will take any job.
Has he ever been the voice of an animated anything?
Yes, there was an Ant movie.
Oh, yeah, the Ant Bully.
Yeah.
Yes.
I never saw it.
It was shit. So.
Oh, there you go.
you go.
But is that on him? I don't think
Nah,
so.
probably not.
It couldn't
Probably
have all been his fault.
Kevin Smith
Maybe
probably
a little bit.
wrote for that.
There were some feels in there. So.
Oh, was there?
Oh, yeah, definitely Kevin Smith
yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, me personally, nah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mind Nicolas Cage, and I do love me some Kevin Smith. I think it's best if this one's just left.
Well, isn't Kevin Smith the same guy who brought us Moose Jaws?
Well, it hasn't yet.
Hasn't yet. But wasn't there also one where there was a guy with a dick for a nose?
Yeah, Dick Nose. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, the movie Dick Nose.
Yeah.
No, I think what you're talking about is... Oh, no, was there?
Yeah.
Are you thinking about Johnny Depp just having
Yeah.
a really big nose in like a Tusk and yoga
That's
hoses?
it, Tusk, yeah.
No, Tusk was where he turned a boy into a walrus. Anyway, we get the idea. Kevin Smith is a crazy man right now, but he's just doing what he loves.
Hey.
And that's fine.
No, I'm not hating on him, man. I appreciate the effort that he would put in and the fact that he could dream something like that up
Yeah.
where no one else would even consider it
Yeah, exactly.
is a, credit to the bloke.
It is, definitely. However, in the same Facebook Q&A, he was asked about, would you consider jumping in and directing the Flash movie now that the Flash doesn't have a director? And he said, oh, sure, whatever, but before you think of me, how about you think of some other people? And one of the people that he said is Tim Miller. Like, it would be a great fit for the Flash movie. He also said the Wachowski brothers as well, but looking more at Tim Miller, who has just obviously famously stepped away from Deadpool 2, what do you think about a Tim Miller-directed Flash movie?
Could be good. Like the Flash, he's one of the more comedic members of the DC universe. So I
Yeah.
can see that actually working out pretty well.
Yeah.
It's a bit similar in the sense that Deadpool also has a little bit of comedic value. So it could be a good crossover.
Yeah.
In terms of moving away from Deadpool and then...
Like an easy transition.
Yeah, because he's already in that mind space, I
And
guess.
he did want more money and, Warner Brothers is just going to throw everything they got at it.
Yeah. I think it'd be good? Question mark. I think it's questionable because I don't really know Tim Miller outside of Deadpool 2. Deadpool the original, sorry. So I don't really know what else he's done other than that movie. And yes, he brought a lot of like life and everything to that Deadpool movie, but you've got to understand a lot of that was the writers and a lot of that was Ryan Reynolds as well. So it's
Well,
not,
he had a personal investment in the movie, so he would have been busting his ass harder than he normally would.
Exactly.
On that.
Yeah, so you've got all these factors that come together to make Deadpool such a great movie, not necessarily just the director. I still, I don't know, I loathe the fact that Rick Famuyiwa had to step away from this and this. I think he was for it. But Tim Miller, somebody.
Please,
as long as
yeah.
somebody steps up and actually makes this movie, that'd be pretty good.
It would be.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close to where do you draw the line and say, okay, we're going to push it back now?
Yeah.
Well, hang on. No, they've got a guy now.
Do they?
Yeah.
And we're all over it.
No, well, didn't they get the director of John Wick 2?
That's right.
Yeah, so they have actually gotten a guy, but whether he sticks around
Yeah.
Is another story.
let's see.
Could be another Ant-Man thing, just leave halfway through.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Mind you, that turned out all right.
That movie was great.
It was fantastic.
You
One of the better origin movies because it was so unique.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know that there were problems.
Not at all.
Yes. Sorry.
It's hating. Jesus. All right, let's move on. Fox has announced 2 Marvel movie release dates, November 2, 2018 and February 14, 2019. My money is on the February 14 being Deadpool 2.
Do you think so?
Yeah, well, that's when the first one came out.
Is it?
Yep.
Same day. Everything.
Same day. Yep.
Yeah, I would probably go November the 2nd, 2018, based on a lot of other releases that are coming out at that time. they're going to want something that's going to be massive for them. So because this is getting into like you get some pretty big releases coming towards the end of the year, getting towards that Christmas time. So they're going to want it to be something quite big in order to battle some of the other things that are coming out. My money would be November 2 being Deadpool 2. Because I think it's further along than anything else at the moment anyway, considering where they are. And possibly February the 14th being Gambit.
Never. That movie will never, ever, ever get made.
I'm just going to say any movie that does come out on February the 14th is going, a Marvel movie or whatever, will be battling it out with all the soppy love stories that come out around Valentine's Day.
That's what Deadpool did. And like the marketing for it, like made it look like it was a romantic comedy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Fantastic.
I'm pretty sure that and like 50 Shades of Grey or something were like the same release time or something like that.
So I don't think though that they would use the same marketing ploy again. I think they'd try for something different, maybe like a Deadpool Christmas or something like that, something that we've discussed personally before. But I don't think they'll go the same route. I think you might be right about Gambit. I don't think that movie is ever going to get made.
I hope it does.
But whatever movie it is, you'll probably find it's likely to go up against the third installment of 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
What's that? 50 Shades...
Darker. No,
that's...
Freed.
50 Shades Freed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Riveting.
Isn't it?
You heard it here first.
So, let's speculate what this other movie might be. Could it be a Fantastic Four, the fourth reboot?
No.
No?
In my opinion, that's never going to happen with Fox. I firmly believe that the Fantastic Four, if nothing else, because we're about to get into something else, in a second, talking about Marvel and Fox, but the Fantastic Four will go back to Marvel, and they will use those characters however they want, whether they want to actually do the right movie. Fox has done it. They've done it enough times to know that they can't do it right. They're just going to bleed money on it. So I think if they're going to give up anything, they're going to give up the rights to the Fantastic Four.
Well, that's interesting because we spoke about this personally last week, but we actually didn't talk about it on the show, how Fox and Marvel did a little trade.
Yeah. So they had some under-the-table deals, as it were, in order to get... so effectively, just quickly... Negasonic Teenage Warhead in Deadpool, they wanted to change her power set, so they needed Marvel's permission to do that. Marvel said, okay, yes, you do that, and you give us the rights to a few characters. So we know one of those characters is Ego the Living Planet, who's coming up in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yep.
But we don't know what else was done in that deal or in other little deals. So I think it's likely that they have gotten some of the other kind of background Fantastic Four characters.
Oh, God, I hope they got the Silver Surfer.
Well, Silver Surfer and Galactus, like maybe. But I think it's likely then that they will transition those over. So I can't see it being a Fantastic Four reboot. And I don't want to see another Fox Fantastic Four reboot, to be honest with you.
This feels like a little bit of a Marvel mafia. Almost like I'm getting the sense like, all right, you give me that, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
You tell no one.
To be fair, Marvel is getting the better deal because that Negasonic character, I think, was used in 2 pages in a Marvel comic, and that was it.
Yeah.
So that's good value.
It's a supporting character for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably something that they could build around, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
I agree. Were you looking at me for agreeance?
Oh, well, we were. I was looking at you to go for the next story, but that's okay. Kevin Feige calls Marvel calls a Marvel Fox team up in a possibility, so there will be no X-Men in the Avengers.
Yeah, so
that's not really a surprise.
It's not, but does it really matter by this stage?
No.
Like when you think about okay, let me clarify. I would like to see certain characters within the Avengers universe and stuff like that. So, when you're talking Infinity War, which is coming up, and Wolverine plays a good part in that and all that sort of stuff. So that would be good to be able to see that type of character or a couple of different other characters pop up. I don't think they need, it's too big. It's too broad for them to bring like the entire X-Men roster into the entire Avengers roster and things like that. So I don't think that's the smart way to go anyway. But yeah, he's basically said that is not going to happen. There'll be no crossovers. But I don't think they need to either. I don't think that's a smart move for Fox to just hand over. Well, not hand over, but,
That's their biggest playing card, really, isn't it?
at the moment it is.
Yeah.
It's probably the only thing that they're using that they're doing right.
Yeah.
Other than, Deadpool and stuff like
Yeah.
that, which has just started to come through. But for the longest time, the X-Men movies, bar one or two little slip-ups, have been really good. So for them to then turn around and go, oh, well, you know what? This thing that we're actually doing pretty well and is making us a lot of money, we'll, give that to you guys to use and
Free
make
of
more
charge.
money. Yeah, they would have to get something very, very good out of
Yeah.
that to make it worthwhile, and I just don't think it's necessary.
Plus, I don't think a crossover would work too well because, in my opinion, I feel like the X-Men are far more powerful than the Avengers.
Ooh.
Oh, here
Like,
we go.
honestly, think
Scandal.
about the power levels.
Yeah, no.
Like Cyclops, those eyes, man, literally
pretty.
cut through a whole school building. And you got like Vision, who's like little laser forehead thing does fuck all.
Oh,
Laser
yeah,
beams.
he's only got an infinity gem in his skull.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
on him, mate. No, but if you think about the power levels, it's like honestly, these X-Men are completely overpowered compared to the Avengers members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah.
think about it, mate.
I have. I understand what you're saying. I think it's more a problem of fitting people in, because Avengers Infinity War is already going to be stacked with
There's
characters.
so many people.
It's been confirmed to have 7,000 cast members, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure there's 7,000 cast members.
All A-class celebrities too.
Yeah, I think it's only slightly lower than the cast of Spider-Man: Homecoming. So they're on track.
Yeah.
To beat that target. I don't know. I don't think we need to talk about it anymore. I don't think it's necessary.
Nah.
Leave
Nah.
leave X-Men with Fox. But if you are going to do anything when it comes to a Fox Marvel team up, just make it the Fantastic Four, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Now, when it gets rebooted 40 years down the track and people look back on these movies and they'll, oh, look at that shit CGI.
Yeah.
That looks so fake. That's when it'll all be together.
Okay.
And I'll be 80,000 years old.
Yeah.
Be well dead.
Well dead.
Well dead.
I'll be well dead.
We got some Thor Ragnarok news.
Don't we?
Love it. So our favorite man, John Cena, is said to have a cameo in the Thor Ragnarok movie.
Yeah, he's supposed to have a little 10-minute cameo.
Now, is it a 10-minute cameo as himself?
Oh.
Like as John Cena?
Oh my God, wouldn't that be amazing?
Well, when I'm thinking about it, they were like filming in the streets. Like it looked a little bit, like downtown New York feel.
And there was a wrestling ring right in the
Well,
middle
no,
for
but
some
maybe
reason.
like he's just walking down the street and there's like the paparazzi, and Thor's like, "What is that?" Anyway,
I could imagine like Thor just walking down the street and walks into him and says, oh, sorry, I didn't see you.
you were thinking of how you could get that line, in,
Yeah,
weren't you?
yeah.
Been working on that for weeks.
Oh, tick it off. No, but honestly, because this is going to have that whole World War Hulk storyline to it, I see him being a gladiator in the ring.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Okay, you heard it here first.
I'm more siding with Amy in the sense of I think it's just going to be John Cena being John Cena, and there's going to be some sort of interaction between him and Thor just in New York somehow. Maybe they'll get into a bit of a scuffle. Who knows? Maybe John Cena will hit him with a little bit of an attitude adjustment. Who knows?
And then he gets smashed in the face with a hammer.
Thor's going to be dead.
Yeah. He'll be out for the 3 count. I'm assuming it's a 3 count. I like wrestling.
Okay.
I know the rules and stuff.
Yeah.
I like sports.
Hey, the last bit of news that we're going to talk about this week is something that's been around for a little while, but it's kind of, there's been a little bit more added to it, I guess. So the current Spider-Man, so Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man with Tom Holland, whatever you want to call this thing, is set to be a trilogy. Again, so just like the last one with Andrew Garfield, except with one more movie. So it's set to be a trilogy again, and they're looking to bring the symbiotes in, and most likely Carnage, and I think you were saying earlier that's probably around the 3rd movie.
Yeah. This is going to I'm just going to fucking cream everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
I've been waiting for Carnage for the longest fucking time.
Yeah.
When he was in Spider-Man 3, back when who was in that first Spider-Man?
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire.
That's right, I got you.
That was Venom, son.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But like when Venom was in there, I was just like, oh, come on, just a little bit, break off and
Be
go,
your own thing.
Yeah.
Go your own way.
Well, and that's how Carnage came around.
Yeah.
Like just this tiny slither of him attached to. Honestly, I can't even remember the guy's bloody name.
Steve Trevor.
Isn't he the other reporter guy?
I don't know.
No, this guy, he was a murderer,
okay,
super psychopath. And what happened was the Venom, after Eddie, that's his name?
Eddie Brock. Yeah.
Got captured, thrown in jail. He was put into a cell with this like super insane criminal, and the symbiote suit like came to find Eddie Brock and break him out of the jail.
Yeah.
But a little bit of the symbiote like dropped onto this other criminal who's super insane and turned into Carnage, just like bam.
Yeah, right.
Well, I would be interested in seeing that. So
Yeah.
hopefully they do bring him in.
How do they do that then without bringing in Venom?
Well, yeah, exactly. Surely they'll have to bring both, right?
Yeah.
And then I think we'll see like a Spider-Man Venom team up to beat to beat Carnage.
Yeah. Man, like, okay, who doesn't want to see that for starters? I think that would be amazing.
It would be.
They did kind of really fuck that up, I'm going to say, in Spider-Man 3. Like, Spider-Man 3 had its moments for what was effectively a terrible movie. Yeah, Venom not necessarily one of them, so I hope they do bring it back and give it a little bit of justice. I don't know, man. Who would you want to see play Carnage?
Who's a good psychopath killer?
Fuck.
Put you on the spot, didn't I?
Yeah, big time. I'm going to pass this straight back to you.
Oh, hey, I'm
Handball.
busy right now. Amy, what do you
Fuck,
think?
I don't know. Okay. No, I don't know.
Yeah. Way to go, Troy, you fucking dickhead.
You've known for 24 hours that an unregistered wizard set magical beasts loose in New York.
Yes.
Where is this man?
So, you're the guy with the case full of monsters, huh?
Whose travels first?
So this week we took to the cinemas and all three of us, actually, not together. We went separately.
Yeah, because we
sort
don't
of.
like being seen together.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
weird.
Amy just throws shade on me anytime we're in public anyway.
Yeah, well, that's right. The whole Bunnings
Bitch.
stories. Was
Yeah.
it Bunnings?
Masters.
Masters. Jesus. Anyway, so what did we do? We went to the cinemas and we watched Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The latest in the Harry Potter / J.K. Rowling / Wizard world without being Harry Potter, if that makes any sense to anyone.
What is the bigger world called? Because surely it's just not the Harry
It's
Potter
just
world.
like the wizarding world.
Is it just like the wizarding?
Yep.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Thanks for clearing that up.
That's all right.
Yeah, so we went to the Wizarding World, apparently, and we reviewed this movie, which has actually done some good business already.
Good business.
Some good business.
Let's
so
go,
it's making some money.
Yeah, let's go numbers, man. Let me know what it's made. I want to know the opening weekend.
The opening weekend was $74 million.
Damn.
That's a lot of millions.
Yeah.
But it's not crazy when you think about... I guess my expectations were a little bit high because I thought regardless of what happens, this was going to bring a lot of Harry Potter fans to this movie, just kind of even if it's just to see how it all came together. While 74 million is a pretty strong opening weekend, I did expect it to be a little bit higher.
It could be that it's not school holidays yet.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
maybe.
true.
But that's,
Give it another week or two. I reckon this is going to double.
But is that we're talking domestically, which is the United States, though. So is that school holidays?
I've got
you
no
guys
idea
out
about
there?
that.
Are you guys on school holidays? Let us know. Either way, I guess when you look at the opening week or the opening week and a half, just slightly over a week, it's hit $280 million worldwide already. So it is showing signs of that Harry Potter strength.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is good, 'cause-
That is good considering it only had $180 million production budget.
Yeah, pretty hefty budget. But I think for the most part, and we'll talk about the movie itself, pretty soon, but I think for the most part, you can kind of see where that money went. But yeah, 280 million in a week and a half, and it doesn't look like it's going to have a fantastic drop off in its second week either.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I
know.
see what you did.
Yeah, I threw it in there. Yeah, so I think it's doing well for what could be expected But I honestly thought it'd be killing it.
Yeah, I thought this would have, I don't know what I was expecting, but I think it was a little bit more. I was probably thinking maybe 100 mil.
Yeah,
Opening weekend.
Yeah, maybe around there.
You know, considering how popular this is and how many, I guess, people have read the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
You think it would just... Because I've read them, and I'm sure kids who are fucking 10 years old now have read them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Understanding, though, that this, there was no book.
No, well, it
A
was
series of booklets.
there was a book which was the same title, but it was more based around the book we see within a book, so book
yeah, okay.
section.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a fantastic piece, and where to find them is a book talked about in the Harry Potter world.
Right. And and that's the book that he eventually writes.
Right, yeah, that's right.
Spoiler alert, he writes a book, you guys. Now, we do need to clarify all of this by saying Kate and I are not exactly what you would call the world's biggest Harry Potter heads. Is that a word?
We might be physically the largest,
Yeah.
the most obese,
Yeah.
but in sense of being a fan,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
So, seeing all the movies, 100%. Cade apparently has read the books, which I find very hard to believe. I personally have not, and I'm the book reader of the two of us. Amy, though, however, is the mega fan.
I've read all the things, seen all the movies, read all the things again, and then seen all the movies again.
She's read all the things and seen all the things and heard all the things.
Yeah.
So she's going to be our go-to guy slash gal.
Yeah,
for-
you're
That's
our
fine, I'm a guy.
you're our guide to the Harry Potterverse.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's get into it, and we're going to break this up differently than how we've done other reviews before, because we like to adapt and evolve and change and just
Plus,
keep you guys on your toes.
We want to learn in some things.
yeah, we like learning. So I guess the first thing we'll start off is just basic thoughts on the movie. So what's everyone's thoughts, Kate?
I thought the story was quite good. You know, it was a very fun movie. I never really found myself sitting there getting bored. It didn't find itself in, any dead patches.
Yeah.
There was always something kind of leading me to keep watching, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was quite good. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, good.
Without elaborating further on later on.
Yeah.
That's all I kind of want to say right now.
Yeah. So I totally agree in the sense that it did have a pretty good time while I was there. It's a fairly long movie. It's 2 hours and 15.
Was it really
2 hours
that
and 20
long?
minutes, something like that. But you don't actually ever really get the sense that it's that long. But yeah, good time. The guy behind us in the theater was having a
Loved
fantastic
it.
time.
Loving the fantastic.
I just want to say, this guy, he looked hard as nails.
Yeah.
Oh, cute.
He was huge, shaved head, big goatee, probably fucking bench presses 8,000 kilos.
Yeah.
This guy was laughing his dick off, man.
He was. He had to pick it up several times.
Oh my God. It fell in between us and we're like, oh, that's yours, mate.
Nobody touch it.
Yeah.
I know, but he loved it.
He'd been
Good.
hitting that giggle water hard, let me tell you.
Oh my
Love me some
goodness.
Yeah, Harry
giggle
Potter
water.
reference. Yeah, I know some.
Good work.
Yeah, but I do agree. It was very fun. I love the world that they've created separate to this to the mainstream Harry Potter world, if that's what you want to call it. Because there are some references, and we'll get to that later. But there's a lot of things that they're bringing in to kind of start like a new story, and I think that's good. There are a lot of people that are a little bit upset that it's not as good because you don't have Harry Potter and you don't have all these things that you grew up with and learned to love and all that sort of stuff. But man, I got into it.
But that's why I loved it, because in saying that, I'd read all of the Harry Potter books
Yeah,
and knew them well.
No, you said that.
But
Stop
so
bragging.
then when I went to watch the movies, I already knew what was happening.
Yeah.
This is a whole new can of worms, I guess you want to call it. I had no idea what was going to happen
Yep.
in the end. Obviously I know getting from point A to point B,
Yep.
where it starts, where it finishes, but everything in between was just a nice little journey.
Yeah. So we'll break it down a little bit further, and we'll talk about the main sort of antagonist and protagonist and all that sort of stuff. So the hero of this story is Newt Scamander, who is like a some sort of wizardly zoologist, I want to say,
Yeah.
who travels the world finding fantastic beasts. So he can tell you where to find them. And yeah, so he's on a mission to effectively protect these things and sort of bring what's the word I'm looking for? Bring
He's trying to educate.
educate. Yeah, he's trying to educate people into these magical creatures and the conservation and preservation and other words that are used in things.
Other Asians.
Yeah. So as far as the main hero goes,
I found him he was almost too naive about things, in the sense that like he doesn't really. Okay, yeah, these are fantastic creatures. We understand that, but surely, mate, you got to understand. You got to have a limitation. Some of these things can be quite dangerous.
Yep.
And I just found. I understand it. He has to be like that to develop the plot, but I also found it a little frustrating the fact that he's okay. These things are just like out crawling around, and you're not overly concerned.
Yeah.
You know, there's muggles around who are getting
nomads
in the United States.
US, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt like there was really no urgency from him in the sense that like these animals might be dangerous.
Yeah. He basically came to the US with a blatant disregard
For their laws and
their-
everything.
Yeah.
He did a
for
Johnny
everything.
Depp.
Yeah, he did do a Johnny Depp.
He did a Johnny Depp in Australia with his dogs, but with some big ass
Bigger
dogs.
beasts.
But he's a bloody dickhead then.
Yeah. So, you know, I do agree. I think if you're looking at Eddie Redmayne as an actor, man, it's hard to. He's hard to like. I'm going to say that he's hard to like, but you know he's charming enough to get it over the line. It's just his kind of strange looking but not looking and like sort of talking into his shoulder the whole time.
That's
and,
another thing.
know,
He was always like kind of giving. Maybe he has this like real insecurity about looking straight on at you because it was always like you said down in his shoulder, pointing his chin at you.
But then did you
pointing
notice?
that damn chin.
So that's when he's talking to people, right? But when he's talking to beasts,
Yeah.
he's completely different.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I get why he did it, and like he's uncomfortable around humans,
Yeah.
especially because he thinks humans are like the most violent creatures on earth and
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. And obviously loves animals, and we all do. Who doesn't love animals?
Yeah, if you don't stop,
Yeah, exactly.
stop.
Just stop.
Just stop not loving animals.
Yes.
Just if you could just stop not loving those animals.
Okay, thanks.
That'd
That would be
great.
great.
Yeah, but it's just like I think it's more to do with his performance than anything. I think it's a little bit too much into it. But I'm no actor, so what do I know really? What about you, Amy?
I really enjoyed. I guess it did frustrate me a bit because it's like, oh my god, dude, come on. This nomad, you've just shown him the entire world. Like, that's a big no-no. You don't let beasts out. That's a big no-no. How about you remember which suitcase is yours because
Yeah.
it contains 1,000 deadly beasts?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so I do agree with that. In saying that, I did really like Newt. I thought he brought... And it was good because then you had Paul Pentina Goldstein going up against him.
So who now?
Tina, the girl?
Yeah, I
the
know.
girl.
Yeah.
And she was a very sort of hard ass, though she frustrated me too.
Yeah.
In a sense, I'm going to dob you in and then, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Sort of feel. So there were a few things like that and that annoyed me, but I liked them both overall.
Like instantly realizing she spent 90% of the movie trying to do this, like
Yes.
trying to bring him in for being like for breaking the rules. And then instantly gets sentenced to death because of what she just did, both of them.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
well,
that was
no
a dumb-
shit, you shouldn't have done that. I think if
And-
you haven't figured that out by
and
now.
she has to be the most, I guess, inconveniently timed person I've ever met. Because it seemed like she's just one of those, like, we all have that friend, right? Who, like, we like, but we don't like.
Yeah.
Like
we have them,
Oh,
all
yeah,
right.
I'm looking at two of them right now.
Oh, please.
But they kind of just rock up, and you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake,
Something
mate.
bad's going to happen now that you're
Yeah.
here.
But every time she rocked up to the, what was it? The
Makusa.
Makusa. She was interrupting some incredibly important meeting
Yeah.
or gathering.
Yeah.
Like the president of Makusa. She's just like, excuse me, Mr. President. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, bitch, I'm talking to
Yeah.
people.
It's like, can you just like fuck off for a sec? Because we are busy here.
Yeah. Now I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Because you've inconvenienced me so much, you may die.
Yeah, that's all it was. She was just pissed off with it.
Yeah.
It wasn't about breaking the rules.
Anyway.
So let's then get into the main antagonist, which is who, Amy? Because this is kind of like there's a couple, is there? Like,
well,
who knows?
Yeah.
I do, or do I?
Who knows?
Up to you.
Well, I guess it sort of starts off And we know that Grindelwald is around because the president makes reference to him being, it's a bad time to be bringing this case in with Grindelwald, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and there's a whole spinny newspaper thing at the
Yes.
start that gives you a bit of an idea about what's happening and
but
who's bad.
To be honest, I didn't think we would see him have such a major role in this film. I thought maybe we'd see one of his disciples, which is who I thought Graves, Colin Farrell,
Yep.
who he plays.
Yep.
Grindelwald, we've already seen a lot of his backstory in the Harry Potter movies, in terms of the Deathly Hallows and the Elder Wand and all that kind of stuff. So, yep, you're with me?
Yeah,
okay, good.
I know those things.
So him being, he is the main antagonist in my eyes.
Okay.
However, then we have Ezra Miller's character, Credence
Clearwater
Barebone,
Revival.
Yeah.
who is, we find out, an obscurial,
Yeah.
which is weird. So there's sort of two sides to the coin, but I found it very difficult to hate on Ezra Miller's character.
Just because you love Ezra
yeah,
Miller.
but not even just because of that, because he's just this little meek, like bowl-cut weirdo who everybody hates on, but he's not actually doing many bad things.
Well, it's not his fault, really.
No,
is
that's
it?
right.
He's been trying to, if I understand this right, he's been trying to suppress his magic for so long, probably based on the bitch of a mother that he has and whatnot, that it's finally just manifested into this obscurial. So it's probably something that they don't have a lot of control over.
None.
Until he actually did get control over it and just fucked shit up.
Yeah.
Which kind of just seemed like it was like, you know what, I'm just going to be bad now.
Yeah, he just gave in.
Yeah.
To me, like, I think this is very much a, like, Colin Farrell played his kind of, his, like, I want to say mentor.
Yeah.
And sort of confidant and whatever, who was effectively just using him the entire time, and that's fine. But, I think it was once, everybody in his life had basically treated this kid like shit, and there was finally somebody that said, no, like, you're excellent. Like, you can be so much more. I'll make you a wizard. Like, you'll be like the best thing on the planet. And I love you, because they were getting awfully close.
Yeah.
Like,
They
it was
were
weird.
very close.
Yeah.
That was quite weird.
Yeah. So, so it's kind of like, here's some affection and here's some love that I finally had. And then when he finally turns on him, it's kind of like a big, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like, this is it now. I'm
I've
just
got
going
no
to
one else.
unleash hell because nobody gives a shit about me. So I got that. I thought that was good. I felt it.
In your bones.
In my bones, in my soul.
Yeah.
What about you, big fella?
For me, it really wasn't clear who our villain was almost until the last 15 minutes of this movie.
Yep.
Because it kind of just seemed like we're going through the paces of old mate finding all these beasts and making friends, and then it's kind of, boom, here we go. This huge thing is just destroying everything, which looked fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
And that thing, that seems like the most powerful thing I've seen in the Harry Potter universe.
Oh, it would be.
It was
It has
just
a name. His name is Credence.
Credence. Well, Clearwater
Or
was
Clarence.
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 Clarice.
Clarice was fantastic. Like, that creature that he became was just simply amazing.
Yeah.
I'm a bit annoyed it took that long for it to become that much of a highlight in the movie. I would have loved to see them try to track it down, use Newt's abilities to find these animals. I think that would have been a better way to do it.
Yeah.
Rather than it just kind of spring out and he's conveniently in the building across the alley.
Well, yeah, Newt's abilities seem to be just being in the right place at
Yeah,
the right time.
yeah,
and
exactly.
running over buildings and,
Yeah, I would have liked to see him actually use his ability of, animal keeping to track this thing down.
Yeah.
That would have been a better way to do this movie.
Yeah. Or maybe use another beast to help track that beast.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that, yeah.
Because he does do that at the end. He uses another beast to make things better, I
Yeah.
guess. So why couldn't he have done that before?
Yeah,
So-
yeah, exactly. So that's my only beef with the villain is that he wasn't in the movie enough. It's almost like it was a Marvel villain where they kind of just give you a little sneak peeks at him and then bring him out for the last scene and then he's done.
Yeah. So can I just clarify, we are doing major spoilers here, right?
Of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
Like
We always
we're
do.
We're not fucking around.
No.
Okay. Because my biggest beef with the whole thing, like I can forgive some of those things that you've said. Like I think the movie itself was great surrounding some of these other little things that didn't go well. I don't know how much we're going to see this guy in the future, but if I have to see Grindelwald, is that his name?
Grindelwald.
Grindelwald as Johnny fucking Depp, I cannot take Johnny Depp seriously, and I'm thinking that this guy is supposed to be. He's not like going to be a comical kind of, stupid-eyed friggin', whatever Johnny Depp does when
Like
Johnny
a
Depp is in a Tim Burton movie.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow would be okay, but Johnny Depp in every Tim Burton movie that you've ever seen is kind of like. Spoiler alert, Graves, is that his name? Colin
Yes.
Farrell eventually, gets revealed to be Grindelwald at the end, and Grindelwald is, in fact, Johnny Depp. Whether
Yes.
they did that just to have a little bit of a weird cameo for Johnny Depp, or whether we're actually going to see this in the future now and it's going to be Johnny Depp.
You will see a lot of him, I can tell you now.
Yeah, we'll see. And if I've got to see that as Johnny Depp, man, I don't need to see another Johnny Depp in full makeup act in a
Yeah.
full movie.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest kind of thing for me. I thought Colin Farrell was great.
He was really good.
I think
He was
he would have
amazing.
been. He would have been better to be the villain
Yeah.
of the whole
Yeah.
season.
yeah.
Of the whole movies.
If you can base the whole thing around Colin Farrell, base it around Colin Farrell. Base it around Ezra Miller if you have to. Like do something, but don't for the sake of a cheap like
Name throw.
or like a I don't know, man. Johnny Depp is not a bad actor or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just sick of seeing Johnny Depp in prosthetics
Playing the same role.
playing
over
the
and
same role, basically. Yeah. So I hope they don't go that don't go that route with this.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest beef with the whole thing.
That's pretty good. If that's the biggest beef out of the whole movie.
Yeah. Oh, look, there are a couple other little things, but I think for the most part, like all of those can pretty much be forgiven. Like Cade's right in the sense of they didn't really do a lot with the villain until
The end.
And the only other thing, here's another thing that I thought of about this movie that kind of shipped me to tears. This was very much a Lord of the Rings type movie in the sense that it could have finished 20 minutes before it actually finished.
Yeah.
There were plenty of times where they could have stopped this movie and I'm like, oh, cool, it's going to wrap up. Okay, all right, another scene. Oh, cool, it's going to wrap up. Okay, another scene. Okay, cool, it's going to wrap up. Oh, here's another fucking scene.
We got the extended edition straight up.
Yeah. But imagine the extended extended edition that's going to come.
Oh, damn.
I have heard there are some scenes that were deleted. So
Oh, I guarantee we're going to get it.
you'll see
Director's cut. But I think, that's probably my only other real sort of beef with the movie is that it carried on too long when it could have finished, and it could have finished with more impact than it did because they kept trying to like wrap everything up. And if you're talking about a movie that's going to continue to be more movies, you probably don't have to wrap it up as neatly, but it depends on what they do with it. So.
Yeah.
yeah, that last sort of like ending bit, I was like, oh, well now where's he going?
Yeah,
What's he doing? What's
exactly.
going to happen?
Exactly.
So
So any major beefs? Nothing?
No, I think you guys have covered most of mine. My main issue was the fact that things were almost like something would happen and I'd be like, holy fuck, you could have just avoided that. Like, why does this need to happen? But, that's movies, whatever.
Yeah.
Keep people guessing. So I loved it, though. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love this movie.
Exactly. They're just little plot points, little annoyances to make the movie, move forward.
Yeah.
I feel like there almost wasn't enough work on the, I guess not the plot, but the story writing. It almost feels like that maybe it went through maybe one or two drafts.
Might have, yeah.
And it just doesn't feel as tight as it could have been. But in saying that, and you said this earlier, it doesn't have a flow problem.
Yeah.
Like it goes quite quickly for, what'd you say, nearly a 2.5 hour long movie?
It's 2 hours 15 or 2 hours 20 or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I did not think the movie was that long
Neither
at
did
all.
I, yeah.
But yeah, they could have just done a few things and tweaked that story a little bit better.
cool.
Agree.
So how do you think it stacks up then to the rest of the Harry Potter series as a whole?
Well, if you compare this to the first Harry Potter, I think this would have been better.
Yep.
That first Harry Potter movie, and you have to think, these kids, it's their first movies, couldn't act to save their fucking
The
lives.
acting was terrible,
They were
but
like
they were
10.
7.
Yeah. So
What were you doing at 10?
I was watching these movies. So I honestly, I think it was better than the Harry Potter movie. The first one, I mean, as they got on, they got really fantastic. As soon as they started getting into those like wizard tournaments and stuff like that, they got really, really good. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's probably around like the movie 3 of Harry
I
Potter.
would agree with you on that. I was just thinking that actually.
Well, that's the general consensus, though, isn't it, for the Harry Potter movies, that number 3 is probably the strongest point, and it moves from there. So it starts off a little weak, and then it gets to movie 3, which everyone's like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then it gets better and better in the sense of, because the kids get older and it gets a little bit more believable and, all that sort of stuff.
They got a different director too for the third movie.
Yeah.
Alphonse blah blah or someone.
Oh, Alphonse blah blah. Yeah, he's well known.
Alphonse.
I'm looking up his
someone like that.
IMDb page right now.
You know what I mean, though. There was a bit of a shift.
Well, the director of this movie, and I apologize to everyone because it's what I do. I forgot his name completely, but he's the same director of the last 4 Harry Potter films. So they've kept the same guy.
That's good.
To transition into Fantastic Beasts. So the look should feel like relatively the same, which I guess it does.
Yeah.
But you're dealing with adults rather than children, and that's something that speaks to me because I don't know. I mean, being like not a fan, it doesn't affect me that we're now dealing with different characters and dealing with older characters and all this sort of stuff. Like, I didn't grow up necessarily loving these movies or anything like that. They were just movies that I watched because they were cool. But yeah, so for me, it's an easy transition, but I can understand why people would be, oh, well, it's not as good because, Harry Potter's not in it or there's no Voldemort. And I think that's the problem. There's no like real... I think that's going to be the problem with the movie in the sense is trying to bring these people across because it is so different when you're dealing with the people that you're dealing with. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, and especially I can see where they're coming from too because like I said, they've read these books. They're already attached to the Harry Potter characters in terms of and Voldemort as the big bad guy, and now trying to shift in the same world to different people is difficult. I don't care. Like, it's all Harry Potter to me.
Yeah.
So,
Well, one thing that also, maybe I missed this at the start, but I noticed it didn't really let people know the time frame.
what year it was?
Yeah, like how...
It said it many times.
1926.
Yeah, but does it... Would a non-Harry Potter fan make that connection? That's what I'm...
Like, where does that fit? in the
Yeah, that's
grand
what I'm
scheme
alluding
of-
to, yeah.
Probably not.
Well, I think the question would then be more, when is Harry Potter set? Like, is Harry Potter set in 2008
No, well,
or whatever when that movie came out?
I'm pretty sure
or-
Dumbledore dies in 1997.
Okay.
in
Okay.
the I think. Don't quote me on it. But so that's sort of like when we see the end of...
I'm going to make T-shirts out of it.
we see the
Amy
end
says.
of the Harry Potter world, because I think Dumbledore dies in like the 6th book.
Yep.
So, yeah, somewhere around then is where we're at.
Right, so we're heading into the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
So that's a good, that's a decent time. That's
Yeah.
70 to 80 years difference. So, yeah, whether people would actually put that together, don't know. I certainly wouldn't have, not being, the biggest fan.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Amy, is there any major Harry Potter references that we may have missed?
So many.
So many?
So many.
All right, have you got your checklist?
I have. I just wrote down like 1,000 things. It's just my brain farts happening in these notes. But there were so many things, just little things that I was like, man, that's so cute that they've brought that over. And I did a little cheer. I was like, yes, like Newt's Hufflepuff scarf. Don't know if you noticed that he was wearing that.
Ah, so he's obviously Team Hufflepuff.
Well, he is from Hufflepuff. He was expelled, I guess.
Yeah.
Wrongfully, might I add.
Well, we don't know why, though. For people who haven't read everything that happens, they don't actually explain why he was expelled.
And
he's like mixed up with the
Lita Lestrange.
the Lestrange family, who we know become like
Bellatrix.
They don't become her, but she is obviously one of them.
So they're a bit bad juju.
Yeah, bad juju.
Even now, the name Lestrange, like in the 1926, is already
poo-pooed.
Like,
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, that'll be interesting. There were so many just little like Hogwarts Wizarding World references. Like there was a Quidditch reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only one.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because maybe Quidditch isn't as popular yet.
It could be
I don't know.
like how soccer has only really started to become mainstream in like
Yeah.
non-European countries.
Yeah.
And
Similar.
yeah, maybe that's what that is, because I was surprised I didn't see any brooms
No.
flying around. And yeah, one reference to to Quidditch was a bit
like
of a
being
letdown.
a chaser instead of a seeker
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, but little things like that.
Well, they did have in the papers at the start. They had, like, when they were showing the papers, they had, is football the new Quidditch? Is football the new, like, America's Quidditch or something like that? So there were a couple, but yeah, subtle.
Very subtle.
Yeah, and that's the whole sort of theme about this movie. All of the Harry Potter references are very subtle, except, of course, for Newt, like having his writing Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, obviously. So we see a lot of beasts, I guess, that we know a little bit about, but not a lot about, like the Nifflers and the Bowtruckles and all those kind of things.
Now, call me ignorant.
Okay.
But is there a reason why these beasts aren't around
In the Harry Potter
in the
world.
Harry Potter world? Are they all extinct and
No.
something went wrong, or
Well,
is it?
we do see in the Harry Potter world the three main beasts, I guess, that we're talking about: the Niffler, the Bowtruckle, which is a stick thing, and I can't remember the big rhinoceros-looking bulby head.
That was funny as shit.
Yeah.
That was the scene of the movie.
That was-
man.
That little
I-
dance that he did.
Oh,
Oh,
but it's
that
like
was
when it's
hilarious.
like sliding on the ice, and Newt's like got the suitcase up against its ass, and it's kind of like, and it just gives that dude a lick right before it goes into the suitcase. Man, I lost my shit.
But we have seen all of those animals or beasts already in the Harry Potter world. So Hagrid introduces us to Nifflers,
Right.
and then they are released in Umbridge's office to steal all her fancy pretty things and fuck her life up. Sort of thing.
Okay.
So we have seen subtle little
So
name
they're
drops.
around. It's
Yeah.
not that they're not there anymore. It's just they haven't brought them into
Yes,
these movies.
that's right. So they're not like the I can't even remember.
Because it's all
his
about
name.
owls and house elves.
Yeah, and hippogriff. We see like that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Like they sort of draw on those kind of creatures,
So
dragons.
that wasn't a hippogriff in there, was that?
No, I don't know what that was.
Because I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. Wait, no, it's not that.
He does say its name, but I can't remember.
So for those of us playing at home, what's a hippogriff?
So the third movie, you know what the Hagrid's pet,
Oh, yes.
and then it gets killed, but they
Yep.
time turn and go back save him. What's
Yep.
his name? Starts with B.
Barry.
Okay, it can be Barry, but yeah, that's what a hippogriff is.
Cool.
And I guess one of my favourite things, which is kind of not confirmed, but we learn so much about obscurials
Yeah.
in this movie. And in like the Deathly Hallows movies, we learn about Dumbledore's sister,
Yep.
Ariana,
Yep.
who I think is an obscurial or was an obscurial.
Right.
So not confirmed, like I said, but it's really interesting now to see somebody very similar to her.
Yeah, cool. So they've brought those things into the world, which is good.
And then Troy's favourite thing,
Oh, fuck yeah.
Ron fucking Perlman
Yes.
was in the movie.
He was. Man, if you didn't pick that, you're an idiot because they made him look exactly like Ron Perlman and obviously sound like Ron Perlman because Ron Perlman's doing the voice. For those of you at home that don't know, Ron Perlman is my dad. And, you know, he liked one of my statuses on Twitter once.
Yep.
So we're basically best friends / dad-son relationship we have.
That's amazing.
It is.
That's beautiful.
So
It really is.
It was great to see him in there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was nice little fun cameo. Are we going to call that a cameo?
Yeah, I'd call that a cameo.
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah. All right. So that was a fun one. Other little things like Tina's sister Queenie is Legilimens, which is someone who can read people's thoughts.
Yep.
I guess she seems very strong. I
Yeah.
guess because Voldemort is rumored to be a Legilimens, and same as Salazar Slytherin, so it sort of runs with that bad juju type stuff. So it's interesting to see she's really happy and light.
But do you think that'll turn maybe?
I'm thinking maybe, but I don't know how or why.
You know, it's funny you said like that's someone like quite strong. One thing I noticed in this movie is that all these wizards seem to be incredibly powerful
Yes, like they can do things
without their wands,
like
which
Colin
is
Farrell. Yeah,
which is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's supposed to be something really major in the Harry Potter verse, is to be able to do magic without a wand.
Yeah, that's right. So sort of like Voldemort level.
Yeah.
Or Dumbledore level.
Yeah, exactly. And there seems to be multiple people doing this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because now we are more focused in the Ministry of Magic or the Makusa world, where there are stronger people than just Harry Potter and his friends.
Yeah.
So-
Who is
A
known
child?
as the world's shittest wizard in the grand scheme of things. And everyone knows that if it wasn't for Hermione and Ron, he would have been fucked from the start.
And just dumb luck.
yeah, dumb luck, we're probably like pissing a lot of people off right now.
Oh, well.
But yeah, look, I think it was obvious by like the third movie. Cool. All right. So having seen these movies then, because remember that Fantastic Beasts, when they announced that it was happening, they already said this is going to be a 5-movie series. This is we're gonna make this world happen, and we're gonna do 5 movies to make it happen. Do you think it needs to be 5 movies?
Look, I don't know about the number of movies. I think that's probably just a ploy to make some money.
Yeah.
But I think it needs to span the full 19 years that they are talking about doing in these movies, because events that we know from the Harry Potter world need to happen in those 19 years.
Right.
So we need to see them. But I don't know, like...
So either we jump forward far enough in 3 movies,
Yes.
or we
We
cover
take our
it off in
time.
5.
Yeah. So the years, 19 years needs to happen. 5 movies, I don't know. Like, that's a long time away.
It's a long time away because you'll get this one of these movies every 2 years
years?
probably. So that's a long time to cover this. That's almost actual time frame that you need to cover. I was skeptical at first going into it. I'm like, are they really going to do 5 movies of this? Having seen it, I'd get onto it. I'd be happy with it.
I could see him stretching it out just for the sake that it'll make so much money.
Oh, yeah.
Mad bank.
But I think they could, if they were really clever about their writing and storytelling, they could do that in 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
true.
But in saying that, I'll watch all 5.
Yeah, you'll be there front and center.
Yeah,
Yep.
they'll take all my money.
Yes.
So, how much money do you think this one's going to make then? So we're sitting at about 280 million within the first week and a half.
500 mil.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I was going to
500?
say that. I'd agree.
I'm thinking upwards of the kind of like the 700 mil.
Wow.
I don't think it's going to do Harry Potter money.
No.
But I think it's strong enough that it'll crack that 500 mil. It'll stick around for long enough that it'll hit the 700s, won't crack $1 billion.
Yeah, no, I don't think it will.
I see this getting 600 mil max.
Really?
Yeah.
Though
Okay.
in saying that, like you said, it is about to be school holidays in Australia and all of that kind of stuff. So
We'll see what happens.
Christmas time.
Yep.
Remembering, of course, that it has only been out for a week,
Yeah.
just over a week. By the time we go to air, and by the time you're listening to this, you'll know the second week figures most likely. So you'll have a better idea about who's going to be right. But it's me. So okay, so it's time to rate it, which we are actually going to change it up a little bit because our rating system has
Well, after much debate and Troy giving
mass debate.
after mass debating, and Troy giving Doctor Strange 90% or 95%, which was fucking ludicrous.
Great movie, though. Great
We
film.
we were bombarded with messages of outrage.
I'm sure we weren't.
I object.
There was so many objections.
I think it's probably the fact that you rated this movie not too far above what you gave Independence Day Resurgence.
Negative.
So, yeah, exactly, right?
Negative.
Anyway, the whole point is we don't have a fucking clue what we're doing. So we've tried to, we're going to simplify this, and it's going to become basically a rate it or hate it type of thing. It's like a thumbs up, thumbs down. So you either rate it and you really recommend this movie and say everybody needs to go out and see it. You hate it. It's a big steaming pile of dog shit and don't waste your time on it. Or you kind of fall in that middle territory, which there is no word for other than meh.
Yeah.
Where you could go either way. You're not going to recommend it. You're not going to not make up your own mind and see what you think. So, Cade, rate it, hate it, in the middle.
I will rate it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good one.
People do have to go see this. I mean, it was a very fun movie. Just don't follow the plot too closely because you're going to just fall into all them holes.
All them holes.
All them. I also rate it, if you couldn't have already guessed. I love anything Harry Potter related. I will probably buy a T-shirt with Fantastic Beasts on it.
Yep.
Like, I will rate it, and I have recommended it to many, many people. In saying that, there were flaws, don't get me wrong. So it's not perfect, but it's fantastic.
Hey,
Damn.
nice. It is a unanimous rate here at Comic Confidential, so I'm going to rate it as well. Agree everything that you guys have said in the sense of, there are some problems with it. I have a big problem with Johnny Depp, as I've said. Johnny Depp, if you're listening, man, just stop. Just stop with the prosthetics and the craziness, man. Just be normal. You're a good actor. Listen to me, champ. Anyway, yep, rate it. Definitely go out and see it. And it's one of these things that you should see on the big screen with some fantastic sound around you.
And that is going to bring us to the weekly wrap, the segment where we wrap up the top moments from all the week's TV shows, starting off with my fave, The Walking Dead.
Episode titled Go Getters. Amy's going to sit this one out.
As always.
As she always does. So this will be Cade and myself. It's going to bring us to top moment number 1. Maggie and Sasha, Hilltop's least welcome guests.
Yeah. Man, they're dicks in that place, eh?
Are they? Not all of them.
Well, no.
Jesus is less dickish.
Jesus
is our savior.
Yeah, Jesus is our savior. There is a guy called Jesus, and he looks like Jesus. Catch up, Amy. Jesus Christ.
And he's basically a ninja, which we've actually got to see him do some ninja shit this week, which was fucking fantastic. I've been waiting weeks for this, man.
Do you want to know my thoughts, though?
Okay.
I fucking hated this episode.
Of course you did, because it's The Walking Dead, and it's been your theme for the last couple of weeks, mate.
Well, last week I enjoyed. Last week was just way too much Negan, which we've already seen. This week, though, it was just, for me, it was one of the weakest episodes in some time. And I'm not talking about this season. I'm talking about like last season as well. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like this episode was nothing more than a device to further future plots. And I think because of that, the episode itself suffered. And we're talking about the episode as a whole, not the whole friggin' future series. So, to me, boring.
Damn. Man.
Look,
I don't know what you want from these episodes of The Walking Dead.
we've been doing this for a while now. Like, we've covered off a fair bit of The Walking Dead, and I've always been like fairly good to it. It rarely does me wrong. But man, like this, like
this season's just not hitting the mark for you.
I don't know what you see in this episode. Then, the whole like the breach of the compound of like the hilltop and stuff like that. Like that was, oh man, like it was almost cringeworthy to me. The way it was cut, the way like the whole thing was edited,
really?
Jesus's karate moves, like man, as a guy that in his time has done some actual karate moves, yeah, I was not a fan. And yeah, I don't know. Well, you tell me what was so good. You tell me.
It's fantastic because the Hilltop, they're like a really, really protected community. Like I don't think they have any guns. Their people don't know really how to care for themselves if the walkers all come in, and this just shows that the saviors are basically baiting them to take more from them.
But then how did they get to a point where they've created this community in this compound that is one of the, you would assuming you know nothing else happens, one of the top 3 or top 4 communities within this area? How did they manage to do that with, as you say, people who have no idea how to survive, and a leader who is just basically, in Gregory, a dick.
Yeah.
He's just a big old dick that, you know, you hope is going to fucking cop it at some point, but you know he's going to stick around and be that annoying sort of antagonist secondary to, like, Negan or something like that.
Well, and that's how he's written. That's what he is. That's what that character does.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's dumb luck for the Hilltop people.
Right.
Then that's what I think it is. I think what's probably happened is Negan's come in and taken all their guns, taken all the good people, and kind of left them with the people who know how to grow crops, know how to, you know, kind of produce.
So similar to where, like, Alexandria is headed at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. So that's already happened to Hilltop.
Yeah.
And Gregory's, you know, he's constantly being shown he needs to be in line.
Yeah.
But
he was very subservient, very willing to, like, take a knee and, you know, do this, that, and the other and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and absolutely. And, he was ready to cash Maggie and Sasha in straight away.
I think it's just when you're revolving a whole episode around that guy, and then one of the weaker characters of the main group in the sense of someone that hasn't been developed enough in Sasha. And then with Maggie, who's been around for the longest time but is currently going through, you know, her own little storyline or whatever, you'll be happy to know that the baby is still alive and kicking and healthy.
Fantastic.
So there will be another baby on the show very shortly. So you know, for me to base an episode around that, it's never going to win.
Now, this might be a spoiler, but I'm pretty sure in the comics, Maggie gains control of Hilltop. She becomes...
that's actually our top moment number 3. So we'll get there, champ.
Well, we will
You're
get
jumping
there.
ahead.
Oh.
You're jumping ahead.
Okay, well, let me go to top moment number 2, and that's Carl and Edith hit the road.
Is that her name? Edith?
Edith?
Enid?
Edith? I don't know.
I think it's Enid.
I don't know why you're
Amy?
looking at me. We'll go with Enid.
We'll
Let's
go
do that.
Enid, because
Enith?
it's the most ridiculous name.
Look,
I don't care about these two.
yeah, you and me both, man.
And you know what? I'm actually really excited because the guy who plays Carl,
Yeah.
there's rumors his contract's running out.
Ooh.
And there's like a lot of talk that he wants to go off to college and university.
Yeah, right.
So
You should do that.
He should do that.
Kill me off, son.
Yeah.
Kill me off. Look, I didn't get into this side story at all. I understand like what they're trying to do. They're trying to create a little bit of cuteness in this world of like ultra violence and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, even like amidst all this, you can still find like your love and whatever and crap and junk.
This is like the Bruce and Selena story, man. I don't care
Yeah.
for like young relationships.
Because you know what else you can find in this world, apparently? A bag on the side of the road that has 2 sets of fully operational roller skates.
But
Like, yeah, that's exactly what I said. I'm like, come on, man. Like, yes, you might find one pair
or one roller skate.
or one roller skate, but you're going to find 2 sets of roller skates on the side of the road? No.
P.S. How dangerous is it to like just have roller skates on when there's zombies around?
Yeah, like that. Like, I would be fucked.
Yeah.
I would get like 2 meters down the road, fall over, break my ankle, and be eaten.
Yeah,
and then I'd
exactly.
be a zombie on fucking roller skates. And then what am I going to do?
Fucking hell, that would be hilarious.
so much
Yes.
quicker.
Can they bring in? They need to start bringing in funny zombies. Bring in a zombie on roller skates.
Yeah.
Bring in something like that. You know, I think
I want to see a zombie in a wheelchair.
I'd watch
yeah,
that.
Yeah, a wheelchair zombie. Anything. I think.
We're off
I'm not
topic.
saying they need to like jump the shark, as it were, in the
Yeah.
sense of like they need to start bringing these ridiculous things. But I think it'd be funny every now and then. Carl needs a goddamn haircut. I'll tell you that much.
Holy fuck, man.
Jesus Christ, man.
That shit is ridiculous. Like, cool, I know you're like a moody emo teen,
Yeah,
but mate,
cut
Has
your
it
hair.
got
Cut
the
your
like
hair.
the mop?
Oh,
hair?
it's
Yeah,
it's
okay.
the moppest hair you've ever seen in your
I
life.
just want to like grab him and put him in a bucket and clean my floor with
yeah,
it.
moppet hair on a muppet.
Oh,
Jesus
damn.
Christ. Okay, so now let's go to top moment number 3. And this is the actual thing of the episode that is exciting. And the whole reason why it's here, which is, like as I said earlier, a plot device to push these storylines forward. So there are a couple of storylines, and one that you alluded to before is the potential of Maggie taking over leadership of the Hilltop.
Damn straight.
Yeah. Did you want to add anything since it was your point earlier?
Oh well,
Happy
yeah.
to just leave it.
Yeah, happy to leave. That's all. That's all I will say about it at the moment.
Yep.
It's good to see that Jesus is kind of stepping up to the plate a bit more,
Yep.
rather than being like that background player which is kind of alluded to that like he's only in the Hilltop for himself.
Yeah.
He's not really there to help anyone else to an extent.
Is he in the Hilltop because he's like the coolest dude in the Hilltop?
Could be.
Like he's like the best fighter.
Yeah.
And he's got the best beard.
Has the
and like-
best car.
yeah, and all that sort of stuff. Like he's the cool guy, so
Yeah.
he's guaranteed to like get action. Whereas if he went over to like Alexandria, he's got to battle Rick and
Yeah, that's exactly
Daryl
it.
and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, cool,
Spot on.
That's how I'd play it too. Another one is it's probably looking or looming towards Sasha's ultimate demise.
Yeah.
Which we're not going to, and we do spoilers. We do spoilers on the show, but we won't really go into it that much. But yes, it's looking the way she is headed, and her attitude towards things, and all that sort of stuff is leading towards her trying to exact her own set of vengeance.
And she's just going to get cut down straight
Yeah,
away.
It doesn't work out well for her. And of course, Carl's interactions with Negan in the Savior's compound, the Sanctuary, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we alluded to that a couple of weeks ago in regards to whether they were going to do that with Carl or Daryl. But it looks like based on this, jumping in the back of the truck,
It's definitely going
it's
to
definitely
happen.
going to happen with Carl.
Yeah.
And Jesus is there too. And
Yeah.
they're just like, what's
So-
up, man?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Just
was weird.
Carl sticking his head out like
Hey, man. What you doing?
ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
Cool. All right. Well, let's move on because you want to talk about ridiculous.
Do you want to rate it? Nah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, let's rate it. 3. And that's being fucking generous. Let
I'll
me
give
tell
it
you.
3.5.
Wow. That's actually low for you in The Walking Dead. Supergirl, The Darkest
Yay.
Place. Yay. Amy's back.
Here I am.
She fell asleep. So Supergirl, The Darkest Place. Top moment number 1, The Guardian gets the limelight.
Is this a top moment?
Well, this is the thing. The word top is
Yeah.
very, it can go either way.
Main
it's
moment.
like a moment that happened
Yeah.
or an actual super sweet thing.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, top moment number 1, Guardian gets the limelight. What do you think?
I'm so not sold on this transformation
Yeah.
with him. It seems almost overnight. Well, it literally was. And he's
Super quick.
super quick. And he is like a top level vigilante now.
It's like watching Arrow, but sped up real quick.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a guy that dead set went from nobody knew he even had a black belt to now being what you would almost call the major protector of a city that has a Supergirl.
Yeah.
In the space of what you would assume is a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's gone from my dad camera broke and I'm angry to I have this fucking super suit now and I'm like battling fucking everybody.
Crazy.
So it kind of went a little bit too quick. I did want to point out, because this was something that was cool, did everyone get the Batman reference
Yes.
in this show?
No. What is
Didn't
it?
you?
No.
So it's kind of at the start where they're all in the bar and they're talking about vigilantes and whatnot. And, they're all deciding whether the Guardian's a good guy and all that sort of stuff. And Jimmy's uncomfortable as fuck. Spoiler alert, he is the Guardian. And I think, Kara says at one point, my cousin worked with a vigilante once. There's like lots of gadgets,
Yeah.
but even more
Shit.
issues type of thing. Yeah, so
I completely missed that.
as soon as I heard it, I'm like, that's a fucking Batman reference.
Straight up. I was like to the people I was watching with, motherfucking Batman.
So the excitement there
is
lies.
Batman's in this universe.
Batman is in this universe, so that
Or
is
someone who is very similar to Batman, but licensing rights says you can't say it.
well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think they've already referenced something similar
Gotham.
in not in Gotham,
No. They've
in Arrow. Haven't they mentioned Gotham, or have they mentioned Gotham in Supergirl?
no. I think
No,
that
they
they've done
mentioned
both.
Gotham in Supergirl because then she said, "That's it, we're moving to Gotham" or something
Right,
like
right.
that, out of wherever she fucking lives. I don't know.
National City.
That's
Yeah.
the one.
Yep.
And then the Flash's Star City.
Yeah.
Confusing.
However, okay, so keeping with this top moment number 1, getting back on track, I will give it one thing. We have bagged the shit out of the fight scenes in this show before in comparison to the fight scenes in Arrow and stuff like that, which are obviously a lot better. But the fight scenes between the Guardian and whatever that other vigilante's name, the freak...
Keith?
Keith? Yeah,
Keith.
Keith.
Good old Keith.
Yeah, I don't think he had another name. It was just
Keith
Keith.
Zawoski or something.
Oh, yeah. Paying that much attention. God
Wow.
damn it. So the fight scenes between the Guardian and Keith were actually quite good.
Yeah, they are getting better.
Yeah.
They must be working pretty closely with the fight coordinators over at Arrow because they do it fantastically.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. Top moment number 2, Cadmus, Cyborg Superman, and Dean motherfucking Kane.
Dean motherfucking Kane. So it's actually 3 top moments rolled into one because it's all the one storyline.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right.
Cadmus, man. You can just
Holy
make up.
shit.
You can make up like a lab studio in an abandoned building and get it cleared out within the hour. Fantastic.
Well, they are Cadmus. I mean, they can do that.
And welcome to Cadmus.
Welcome to Cadmus, you guys, in case you haven't fucking realized where you are. Hey, here's the thing. This is something that shit me to tears. So this whole plot revolved around them getting Kara's blood for whatever reason, and we'll find out what that is later. So how they do this is they have Mon-El and Kara locked up, and they're kind of like, oh, hey, here's this helmet. You're going to solar flare into this helmet and drain all your powers, and then you're going to become human, and we'll take your blood, whatever. And they're like, and she's like, oh, well, I'm not going to do that. And then they shoot Mon-El in the leg, and they can do that because he has an aversion to lead, as we know, and all that sort of stuff, and that's fine. But then what happens? They take her out of the cell. There are 2 guards and the lady from Cadmus.
Yep.
Who is just holding a helmet.
Yeah.
There is nobody actually holding a gun to Mon-El at the time. And you know that because there is a wide angle shot from the roof that shows who is standing where. So there is no threat. And you now have a Supergirl who has super speed.
Yeah.
But
mate.
on top of powers, next to none on the planet. Yet she decides, okay, cool, I'll take the helmet and I'll solar flare when she could have fucking killed everybody.
Well, how about you just pretend like, oh yeah, helmet, jokes, bam, smash you
bam,
in the face.
you've got like laser eyes on you now.
Oh my God. I saw that and I was like, and I said to the people I was watching, because I had a lot of, actually, there was so many issues with this episode.
Yes.
And like, I'll point them out as like we kind of go along.
Yeah.
Might as well actually do it now because I can see the next point won't even let me segue into it.
Yes.
But that was one. She could have just super sped, because we've seen with the Flash crossover that she's as quick as Barry.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
When running.
These are human beings.
Yeah. So
that she
just
is up against.
even just zip around and grab their guns.
Oh,
That's all you
even
need to
even
do.
if one of them turned to shoot Mon-El, she is literally faster than a speeding bullet. It is one of her dot points when you look her up.
It's on her resume.
Fucking Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So, it's frustrating as shit because that is sloppy. And it's either the writers have gone, they'll forgive us for this, or they've gone, they won't even fucking notice.
Yeah.
How
And
stupid
Which
do
I
you
think
think
is
they
the
are?
later on that one.
Yeah, either way.
Another thing that really bothered me is at the end of the episode, they're all at Kara's apartment.
Yeah.
And her sister is there.
Yeah.
And the female officer that she has feelings for knows she's at her sister's house.
Well, don't they live together?
No, they don't.
Where does Alex live?
She lives on her own.
Ah, see, I always just assumed
No.
they
So
lived
did I.
together.
No, she's out on
I
her
must
own.
have missed that somewhere.
And I saw that and I was like, how did she know she was at Kara's house?
Okay, first of all, she's a super top alien detective.
Yeah.
So she could have figured it out.
She traced
You
her
know
droppings
how
and
you know
her
how wily
footsteps.
people can be when they start putting red strings together on things. So with that, you would assume that maybe she might have gone to Alex's place. And she might have realized that Alex wasn't there. And she's like, oh, maybe I'll try Kara's. It's actually not that fucking hard when you
No,
think about
mate,
it.
no.
It's like, where is Alex always? At home or at Kara's house?
Or at work.
Or at work.
How does she even know where Kara lives?
She's a police officer.
Yeah, I mean, she just taps into the database,
Tappa, tappa, tappa.
Just hacks in.
just hacks in. There
There were many,
Mr.
many
Robot.
things wrong.
All right.
Speaking of robots,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Cyborg Superman. What? What's everyone's thoughts?
Okay, now this was another issue I had. Kara goes in for a full-blooded punch on what we presume is a human.
Yeah.
she would have killed that guy. He'd be dead.
Like, okay, maybe she's like holding her punches, but even so, it looked pretty bloody full-blooded if you ask me.
Yeah, I would assume that she would have she would have pulled her punches. You would assume that she would have that kind of control by this stage. But
Well-
yeah, it's kind of like, you're going to kill someone if you fuck it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter because it turns out that he's actually, he's not just the real Hank Henshaw. He is Cyborg Superman. I don't really have a lot to say on this. I do like the fact that they've gone the comic book route and used Hank Henshaw for this rather than it turning out to be Mon-El or something stupid like that. Not Mon-El, Dean Cain,
Yeah.
who we'll talk about in a sec.
Jeremiah.
But we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see what happens. But now we've got we've got Hank Henshaw, and we've got John Jones, and all it's going to be is like, oh, who's who? And it's like, oh, you're John. It's like, guess what? I'm actually fucking Hank Henshaw.
He just
but
takes
I'm Cyborg
off
Superman.
the skin off his
Yeah,
exposed
so-
eye.
Well, to be fair, he could just be Martian Manhunter. Just look normal, mate.
Oh,
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
True God.
They only do that, and obviously they only do that to save themselves money.
Of course.
Yeah. Although they do have a really good reason as to why. He's like, he doesn't want to freak people out by like just walking around in his Martian self
Attire.
form. Yeah. Last point on that though, Dean motherfucking Cain back on
Yeah.
TV. Gotta love that. A little bit fat around the face, but that's
just
okay.
had
I'll let that slide.
We all get there.
He's had a good year.
He's he had a big Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Look, we'll see how this plays out and we'll see what they do with Jeremiah going forward. He obviously plays a fairly important role in Cadmus considering he has access to fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out, but it's good to have Dean Cain back on TV, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Top moment number 3. What the fuck is up with the Martian Manhunter? What are they doing?
Well,
What are they
he's-
doing with this?
Do you see he's a white Martian now, apparently, or
Yeah.
becoming, and he's got like the big old claw
hand. Yeah, so it's
So I feel like you would have noticed that. Like,
at some point.
yeah,
Yeah.
my hands changed.
Well, to be fair, he could have thought it was just part of
True.
those
Yes.
hallucinations that he's having.
So this is all thanks to like a blood transfusion
Yeah.
and some, intergalactic experimentation and whatnot.
Does blood transfusions work like that? Like hypothetically, let's say we put some pig blood into you, would you start growing a curly tail?
People do
Yes.
use pigs to dilate off their livers.
Oh,
So,
there you go.
Yeah, so definitely.
yeah,
I think
you'd be
is
a
the
pig.
answer.
Fantastic.
Science dictates that you will definitely turn into a pig.
Well,
So
I'm
problem
speechless.
I'm
solved.
sold
done.
then.
Actually,
Yes, done.
well done, writers of Supergirl, for using exact science with this. That's great. So, how do you think this plays off, though? Like, do you think so? Obviously, he's had this transfusion. He's starting to turn into a white Martian. They're obviously not going to keep it that way.
No.
Who comes to the rescue? Do you think it's Win? Win comes up with something
course he
crazy
will.
to come up, to fix it all, or do they have to take him to Cadmus?
Oh, that's a good point. No, I think Win will do something because we haven't seen Win for a while do something.
Well, Win
of
just
worth.
creeps around in the back of a
Yeah,
van
yeah.
now. Like that's kind of his job.
Yeah, exactly. So
He
I think
needs
he needs
something to do.
Yeah, he needs something more to do.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you rate it?
Look, the episode itself wasn't that bad, but there was just some shitty writing.
Yep.
That really sort of stressed me out. And I have high hopes for Supergirl coming into this crossover, and I think she will play a major part. And I want to know who's writing this. Like,
Oh, yeah.
is it still the same team of writers writing 4 different episodes, or are they getting?
Yeah.
Are they all getting into a room and like just throwing shit at each other and just saying like, we want to do this and we want to do that? Like, what's the actual plan?
Well, from all reports, the crossover barely affects the Supergirl episode until the last bit, where obviously Barry's going to come through and grab her.
Right.
So I have very high hopes for her in the crossover because her writers will not be touching her.
Excellent. Well,
Great.
let's hope so, because I think that's where the show suffers the most at times.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Speaking of shows that suffer the most at times, but don't this time, maybe Gotham, Mad City, Time Bomb.
Yes.
Yeah, so top moment number 1, the Court of Owls are back in a big way. And I'm just going to say this, man. This was the best episode in a long time.
This is probably the up there episode this week that didn't shit me off.
Yeah.
So I was surprised. Maybe not happily surprised, but surprised.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about an episode that's going up against a Kevin Smith directed Killer Frost Flash episode. Now, do I class it as episode of the week? I don't know yet. I haven't quite figured it all out, but I actually really enjoyed this. And I think they've done some of their best storytelling in some time. And I think this Court of the Owls thing, which we kind of thought had gone nowhere and had run its course, has come back, and it's kind of all sort of, it's not only now affecting Jim Gordon and Jim's sort of extended family, I guess, in Lee and all that sort of stuff, but it's also back to affecting Bruce Wayne. But it's kind of interesting the way they've done it.
Yeah, that's good. Like, the people that were chasing him for this key actually turned out to be on his side.
Yeah, they didn't last very long.
No, so I don't really know what's going to happen
That part actually really disappointed me.
Me too.
Considering that they've said they've been chasing these people for a long, long, long time.
Yeah.
And they kind of just get knocked off.
Yep.
Knocked
One
it.
of the brothers didn't,
Yeah.
but
So-
not the main guy.
Yeah, so there's still the guy, I think, that they referenced with the face mask.
No, he died.
Did he die?
Damien.
Then the other guy.
Yeah.
One of them. One of them is still around. But this is all going to come back on Bruce, because this is kind of a situation where they have said, hey, we said stay out of this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to fuck shit up. And he hasn't, and he knows that he's fucked up. And we'll see how this goes. But I do like this Talon guy that they're using as a villain, because this guy's just fucking everybody up.
He's awesome.
Left,
man.
right, and center. My only concern is that is it going to come down to this super, super killer in Talon versus Jim Gordon, and Jim Gordon's going to come out on top because Jim Gordon is Jim fucking Gordon.
Of course, he's going to find it within himself to beat this character.
Yeah, so this highly, highly, highly trained
Assassin.
super assassin that has beaten all of these people.
And then Gordon will become commissioner.
Yeah, because of that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
He'll drag his body through the
city.
GCPD, and he'll say, "Give me my fucking commissioner badge."
So I
And
don't
they'll
even
have
need to watch the rest of the season now.
Yep.
I know what's going to happen.
Top moment number 2, Tabitha lends Butch a hand, as it were. Now, a little side story that happened here, and this is where Gotham falls short a lot of times with their little side plots and things like that.
But I really enjoyed this one.
Me too.
This was the highlight of the episode.
Yeah,
was this,
I agree.
This whole interaction.
For sure. And I like how they've really they've wrapped this up quicker than I thought they were going to wrap it up. Like, this is something that I thought was going to go on forever, and Penguin's going to, Riddler, Enigma is going to think it's Butch, and then, something else will happen, and, eventually he'll find out that it's Penguin. But it's like, nope. It's like 2 episodes in, and he knows exactly who he's after. I also think it's cute that Butch and Tabitha are now going to have matching metal hands. You can guarantee that's
Well,
coming.
they saved her hand, but there's no saving that hand.
Surely not.
Nah.
No, I guarantee that she gets some super cool metal tiger claw hand,
Ooh, that'd be cool.
because she is technically tigress,
Yes.
as it were. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it's a lot more pacey.
It is.
It was good. And what I really liked about this scene here is that it was clearly evident everyone knows Butch is punching above his weight.
Well and truly.
And even Butch realizes it, and he's kind of like, look, I don't care if you don't love me, but I love you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like him saying, I ain't going to get any better than this.
Yeah.
You are banging.
Well, exactly. And Butch is not exactly what you would call like a male banging type. But yeah, he is definitely punching above his weight. One thing I am going to go on record as saying, what episode is this? Episode 43? I'm calling it right now. I am actually enjoying the Barbara character for the first time in my life.
Yes.
So now that she's kind of settled into this role, and it's not is she trying to, get at Jim and Lee and all that sort of stuff, she's kind of settled into whatever they're doing with her, regardless of whether they're trying to make her this show's version of Harley Quinn or whatever they're doing. I think they've finally found it, and now that they've settled on it, I'm starting to get into this character.
Yeah, it's like they peaked really, really high with her craziness, and now they've just kind of brought it back and fine-tuned it, and it's spot on.
Yeah, and it's like to a point now. Like, she has a purpose to be crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is, she was my favorite character in this episode.
Yeah, so it's going to be a mad power grab for her, I think. She's going to use the Riddler or Enigma, whatever you want to call him, to bring the Penguin down and take her place at the top of the crime syndicate thing. Yeah. Whatever. But I am really enjoying what they're doing with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Let's go. Top moment number 3. Lee's husband/fiance is a bad guy. And like, who didn't see this coming? I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
When did Alice's blood get on him? In him?
Well,
in him.
Yeah.
We're going to have to wait and find out if we actually do.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Gotham has a history of not closing off storylines. And this will be one of these things where we've seen the veins in the eyes. We know what is going on with him, so they'll never actually reference what the problem is, or how he actually got affected.
Yeah, exactly.
So they might just leave it as, hey, this guy is also affected, similar to how Barnes was. But yeah, has he been like that the whole time? Did it just happen just before she died? Was he the medical examiner, on her body?
Oh, maybe.
If going back a few episodes, was he the one? Could it have happened that way?
But then you would think he was there when the Mad Hatter was threatening to kill his fiancée. Surely that would have pissed you off enough to be angry, and kill some people.
That's a good point.
Why he just stood there like a loser? Oh, you've stolen my gun. I can't do anything.
Interesting.
Do you think maybe he knows about what the blood does?
I have a feeling that maybe his father and him know.
Right.
And that maybe they're using Lee a little bit in that sense because she's so close to it and she's running these trials to try and cure it and all this stuff. But I don't know.
P.S. How shit is Lee going there to give Jim her last kiss?
Before
going to, what was it, the rehearsal dinner?
Yeah, she's getting married tomorrow or something.
Yeah. All that does, any of this is done is set up the Jim and Lee reconciliation.
Oh, of course.
That's all that's happening. It was the plot twist that everyone saw coming at some point. So, I can't applaud them for that. We will see what happens. I mean, how long are they going to run this for? before they actually, I don't know, finish it off, wrap it up, 2 episodes, 3 episodes, like, who knows?
Yeah. What do you rate it?
Look, get ready for this. I give this episode a 4.
Me too.
Me 3.
Yeah.
I mean 4.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever given Gotham a 4.
Yeah, no, it's this is what Gotham does. It will give you like a couple of really shitty episodes and then just give you this one that knocks it out of the park. And then it's just like, all right, yeah, it goes straight back.
I'll give it another 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I honestly believe there's a pattern. 3 shit ones, 1 good one.
And it just
3
like
shit
draws you
ones.
back in.
Yeah, it does.
Do you think it's that often though? Because I don't remember talking about a good episode of Gotham in some time.
My last favourite episode of Gotham was the one where the Mad Hatter was tricking Jim into doing all of those choices.
Yeah.
That was my last
So that's
good
this
one.
season?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So I think that was more than 3 episodes ago though, I think. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Let's move on to The Flash and Killer Frost.
Yeah. So top moment number 1, Caitlin goes killer.
Yeah.
And she looks so cool.
Man, I
does.
love her. I can't wait till she goes like full on Killer Frost.
She's really good at a bad guy.
She's fantastic as a bad guy. And she's savage as fuck, man.
Yeah, she doesn't fuck around. She goes like straight for the heartstrings and then cuts those suckers off.
With a giant icicle.
Yeah. Danielle Panabaker, man, way better as a villain than a hero.
And she's like a Disney star. That's where she started.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Like Disney TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did not know
Or
that.
Disney movies, like little side ones.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
it was this. Anyway, one of
Was
them.
it Three Ninjas?
That's
Oh
a
my
great
gosh.
movie.
Isn't it?
That
Anyway.
whole series is
We
fantastic.
should review that.
Yeah, so I think just when she's Caitlin Snow, she's not necessarily given enough to do. Like
No.
if it's not a weird sort of, not weird, but like if it's not like a love story, like say her with Ronnie or
Yeah.
her with Jay/Zoom, she's not doing a lot. She's kind of just that go-to guy that they go
Doctor.
to fix shit. But man, when they let her be Killer Frost, then she has this whole other arc that she can play off, and she does it really well. And I'd like to see more of it, but I think they're gonna like find a way to
Bring her
fix
back.
it. And let's not forget that they've already got the power dampening cuffs that she wears around, so it's kind of like their go-to thing to sort of say, "Oh no, we fixed this." Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless her power manifests too much that the cuffs can't handle it.
I hope we see more of Killer Frost, though. Like, I just don't want it to taper off. Like
Yeah,
you're saying.
it's just such a better character for her. I mean, when she's Caitlin Snow, she's very softly spoken, is happy to be a background character.
Yeah.
And it's such a polar opposite.
Yeah.
Hey.
I didn't want to say it, but
Get
thought
us-
about it for a
get
minute.
Get up us about our
yeah,
pun.
I know. Mine wasn't intentional, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the whole thing is brought about by her having to save Barry from Savitar at the start of the episode. So, first off, let's talk about Savitar for a sec.
Holy
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Jesus. Splooging everywhere. I fucking loved. You know what? I actually went back and I replayed that first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Did you?
Like, yeah, as soon as it was done, I'm like, just
Let's watch that
rewind.
again.
Think about it for a second, though. It's not the first time they've done it. Each season, the Flash has been dragged around by whether it's Reverse Flash or Zoom or now Savitar. They've done the same thing. But the way they did this and the power level that they show for this particular character,
oh my God.
it's not just fast. It's popping up in multiple places at the same time.
It's like
God
he's
damn.
teleporting between them
Yeah,
and then going
yeah.
back and being everywhere.
he just has power about him. He's
Yeah. He's
a
fucking
god.
amazing.
It's next level fucking with the Speed Force.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even Barry said it. He's like, everything looks slow even to me.
No, everything looks fast.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, but fuck. It was just like, God damn.
It was like, he couldn't even keep up with what was happening.
Yeah.
Is basically what he was saying.
He was like a little limp rag doll just being dragged
Yeah.
around.
Fuck.
And like I was questioning the look of Savitar like last week's episode where they showed him and he looked a bit Megatronish and all that sort of stuff. But man,
I love it.
like,
I'm fucking so sold.
as long as they can keep the CGI looking that good,
They don't use all their budget.
yeah. Well, they probably just blew it, but if they can keep it looking that good, man, I'm in. I am fucking in. But yeah,
So, top moment number 2.
let's do it.
The birth of Kid Flash. Now, what were your thoughts on how this all came to be?
Very fucking conveniently.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, hey, I'm going to get trapped in this disgusting looking cocoon and then become a beautiful butterfly. Flash.
But I'm not going to be able to control myself for at least 10 minutes of this episode.
No, not even that.
It's kind of like...
It was less.
Yeah, well, why did they even bother with that? That was just like, okay, cool. You ran back to your old childhood home.
See, this for me, and it's something that we haven't referenced yet, but this is the Kevin Smith effect. So this is where we're trying to put
Feels where there isn't feels?
Yeah, feels into an episode that doesn't need feels. And when you look at his last episode, it was probably more comedy heavy. And there was some, don't get me wrong, there was some major feels towards the end when Iris comes out and pulls him out of the Speed Force and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah, that was cute.
And we all cried. It was fantastic. But this one, it's kind of like it's almost like he's trying to put feelings where there's no need for feelings.
Yeah.
Just take him. I don't want him.
Because think about it like this. This is a situation where Joe, so this cop, this level-headed friggin', father figure to everyone that's been doing the right shit since day one, basically, is kind of like, okay, I'm going to do something that everyone has told me will likely kill my kid because I want to see my kid, because I want to save him, but I'm going to do the thing that everyone is telling me is going to kill him. And while it doesn't, it does fuck him up for a little while, but like, how fucking irresponsible is that?
Ridiculous. And even Barry, you can see it on his face. It's kind of like, you are a fucking idiot, Joe.
We specifically told you one thing, and you did though Barry's done that too, so...
Well, yeah,
It's a bit karma for
Barry's
him.
the fucking worst for it.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But this is a situation where it's kind of like, I think Caitlin literally gave the butterfly analogy earlier and said, like
Let
a
him
caterpillar
come.
will go in, basically break itself down into enzyme form and reform as a butterfly. So you don't know what stage this kid is in.
He could have just cut it open and a big slop could have fallen out. That's your kid now. You've just got a ditto Pokemon thing going on.
At least, no, I'm not going to say that. Because, look, I do have problems with Keenan Lonsdale's acting at times.
Well, that's why he was all blurry, because he can't do emotion.
Well, yeah.
Honestly.
Well, I think what I was going to say is if he comes out as a slop, at least that'll suit his acting ability.
Wow.
Yeah.
Burn.
But that's not very nice. However, like this kid, if he's like, if he's having fun and he's excited and all that sort of stuff, maybe he'll be good as Kid Flash. I don't know. We'll see. The kid's already fast as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they did say faster than Barry when he was at that point.
Yeah.
So...
Let's see how they play it out, hey?
Yes.
now let's go to top moment number 3, because this is all a victory for me.
He did a happy dance.
It's a victory for every single person on the planet.
that
What
listens
is it?
that listens to this podcast and knows I'm right, and that is Julian Albert is alchemy.
What?
Don't say it, because I called
I
it.
never would have guessed.
Nobody saw this
I think
coming.
I called this episode 1 of this season.
Yeah.
Man.
I think you
let's-
called it when Tom Felton was rumoured.
Let's
He's
just
gonna be alchemy.
let's just put it out there. I need to bring you down a peg.
No, mate.
Every single person on the planet saw
hate,
this
mate.
All
Don't hate. Just appreciate.
Oh my god. Look, okay. Let's talk about this for a second though, because we all knew it was coming. We all knew Tom Felton was going to be alchemy and all that sort of stuff. And whether you want to say you called it, whatever, I don't care. Somebody called it.
Feel the hate.
It's been called. It's no surprise, obviously. And we'll see how this plays out. But for me, like with Tom Felton, and when they brought Tom Felton into the show, like I was excited thinking that this is going to be somebody that could become like a regular cast member and would add a lot of value to this show, as far as his abilities as an actor and all that sort of stuff. But it seems almost, and there's not to say that they won't necessarily, or they can't still do that, but it seems like here he is. He's this season's second villain that's going to get killed off, and that's it. Now, have they done that just as a let's get a big name in for this season because like we're struggling a little bit, or like what do you think?
I found it a bit weird, and okay, we all sort of had an inkling that he would be alchemy, but it kind of feels like Julian Albert doesn't want to be. Like, he's a bit like, oh shit, I have to put this mask on, I have to do it. Whereas his morals, he even says to Barry's morals are off.
Yeah.
But that would insinuate that his are okay. When
Yeah.
really, they're not so much. So I'm kind of confused about all
Jacqueline.
of that.
It's a Jacqueline Hyde thing
Another
going on.
Jacqueline Hyde.
Jacqueline Hyde.
Jekyll.
Jekyll. Jackie and Hyde.
Yeah, Jacqueline Hyde.
Jacqueline.
That's
I love that lady.
Mr. Hyde's mum.
Yeah.
With this then, like with this Tom Felton thing, that then to me is the way that they can redeem this character
And hopefully keep him
and bring
around.
him into
Yeah.
you know the Star Labs fray and all that sort of stuff because he has a lot of value. Lord knows he has more value than Harrison Wells. Like this current
HR.
Harrison Wells HR at the moment, who did have a couple of good moments and did
It's just annoying.
yeah, it is annoying. It's annoying that
He's that annoying hipster wanker.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
and have some iced coffee out of 3 different cups and leave us alone.
Yeah.
take your drumsticks and shove them. No, look, seriously though, he did have a few moments where he was kind of like the reason why everything
Yeah.
came together. It's like the answer is so blindingly obvious. It takes an idiot to show these geniuses what the answer is. But this is a possible way where they could bring Tom Felton back, redeem this guy because he's not a bad guy. He's just in a bad situation, and bring him back into the show as a regular.
Yeah,
part of
hopefully.
Star Labs because that's what I want.
Yeah.
Me too.
What do you rate it?
Man, for me, I was disappointed. Like it had some really good moments, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to rate it low because, like, you still got to see Danielle Panabaker as Killer Frost for the longest time, which was good. We got to see the Bertha Kid Flash, which is good. We got to see that awesome fucking opening 3 minutes of like Savitar just fucking shit up. Which was good, so I can't really, bring it down from that. But we're talking about a Kevin Smith directed episode and something that I was excited for as soon as they announced that he was back and doing it again, because I really did enjoy the last episode. It just didn't hit for me the same the last one did.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to give it a 3.75, and I'm going to say Gotham was the show of the week.
The look of dismay on Kate's face.
What'd you give it, Amy?
I actually agree. I gave it a 3.75 as well, much to my own dismay.
With a bunch of fucking idiots.
Look, I think this episode was great, don't get me wrong, and there were a lot of good things that when we list them out like that, but I just didn't walk away from it with the same feeling as when I watched Gotham, and maybe that's because I was shocked by Gotham.
Maybe, yeah.
Who knows?
See, I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
I think it's like Gotham gives you so much shit. When you get gold, you kind of like, holy fuck, that was good.
great.
Yeah.
Whereas the Flash is so consistently good. If you get something that kind of dips a little, you're like, oh, well, fucking Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
Flash.
What are you
Get
doing?
your shit
Pull your
together,
shit
mate.
together.
yeah, you're the shittest show on TV.
What did you give it?
Okay, I'm going to give it a 4.25.
Oh.
And honestly,
damn.
I'm telling you, it's just because of that first 3 minutes
Yeah.
and the fact that I watched it twice.
Yeah.
It was, honestly, it was just amazing.
So nice you watched it twice.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
All right.
And
Cool.
that's
That's
pretty
it.
much it for all our other
Man.
shows are on break.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is on break. Arrow is on break this week. Legends of Tomorrow is on break this week. And that's all because they come back next week for the CW killer crossover, Heroes vs. Aliens, they've called it, which is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else you'd call it.
And I guess, we can say it is the Dominators.
Oh, spoilers. It's
Spoil.
the Dominators.
What?
If you
Gonna
haven't
punch me
figured
right
that...
in the ovaries, just be like, bam! Such a good episode.
All right.
And that means it's time for my favorite segment. Personally, my favorite. I can't wait for it. Comic of the week. And Troy.
That's me.
That is you. He did something a little bit different this week. He put it out to Twitter.
Yeah.
And asked for a recommendation of Comic of the Week. And I'm really disappointed no one put in a sick album or, a great movie or...
Because no one cares about a section called Comic of the Week where you talk about movies or bread.
Well,
I don't know how many times I
That
have
bread
to say
chat
this.
was on point.
Well, it was on point.
How about you bring in an actual comic, like a comedian? Why are you limiting
like
yourself?
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we've well and truly established
Hey,
that this
little-
is about comics.
Little fun fact about Dave Chappelle. He was in Con Air.
Yeah.
Get out.
He was.
That's not a fun fact.
I
is
saw it
fun.
the other day and
That's
I was like,
well known.
it's not well known.
It's fun, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, back on point.
Actually, talking about Chappelle, how funny was his SNL cold open the other week
Oh, it was funny as shit.
with The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
I even got the references.
Even his whole opening monologue was brilliant, and it was great to see him back on TV.
It's good.
Oh, man.
Would this actually give you hope for Chappelle's show returning?
Nah.
He hated it.
I think he's pretty much said that is not ever going to happen. But however, I did read something the other day where he's come back with, like, he's got like 4 Netflix specials coming up or something.
Damn.
So stand-up comedy specials, obviously.
Yeah.
But, man, if you want anyone's stand-up comedy in your life right now, it's probably Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. He's as real as it gets.
Cool.
Yes.
So we've discussed comic of the week now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. All right, Dave Chappelle, Comic of the Week.
Nah.
No, look, this Comic of the Week was brought to us by Dan on Twitter, and it is a great suggestion. I don't know why I didn't think of it myself, but it's Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York #1, the crossover. So get excited about that, you guys.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't? Are you serious?
No.
Either of you two? Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China?
I don't know, the movie.
I like spring rolls.
Well, that's what it is.
So, okay, I'll listen to this one because now you're talking about a comic about a movie.
Correct. So this
You better
is
not be fucking lying.
okay. So it's a comic based on characters from 2 movies. Iconic characters, we'll say. But I'll get into that in a sec. So this is written by Greg Pak with art by Daniel Bayliss, and it is published by Boom Studios, so it's not Marvel or DC. Yeah, copped some flack.
Changing it up.
Yeah, we're out there. We're doing indies now. Anyway, it's all about 80s action movies, right? And who doesn't love 80s action movies? Am I right? What are you just looking at me for?
I'm listening.
Anyway, so they're usually a combination of extreme, like machismo, ultra-violence, nudity, and explosions, kind of all crafted together to bring us 90 minutes of pure, unadulterated awesomeness. And when you think about iconic 80s action heroes, 2 usually pop up on everyone's list, Jack Burton and Snake Plissken, both of whom happen to be portrayed by Kurt Russell, who we know is a god amongst men.
Yeah, he is.
Isn't he?
So, are they escaping from anywhere?
Well, let me get to that, sir. So Greg Pak and Boom Studios they've basically got the complete consent of creator/director John Carpenter, and they brought both of these iconic big screen heroes together in comic format with this comic book. So basically what you're getting is 2 Kurt Russells for the price of 1 in a comic book, and it doesn't get much better than that. So how do we get to this point? So we've got Jack Burton, ladies' man, truck driver, and sometimes slayer of Chinese sorcerers, seems content in 1987, driving his pork chop express and reminiscing over the CB about his mystical adventures with Wang. Not what it sounds like.
Truck driver on his own, long hauls.
Long hauls. Apart from the odd entity visiting his truck's cabin, all seems well. That is until he's sucked into an interdimensional portal, leaving him barreling down the post-apocalyptic wasteland highway of 2001's Oakland, Texas, which happens to be the current location of a certain one-eyed former Special Forces lieutenant and the youngest soldier ever to be decorated by the U.S. president for bravery, Snake Plissken. Oh, damn. Now, why has Jack been brought to this world? How pissed will Snake be when he finds out Jack has been posing as him? And who is the mysterious young man who looks just like Wang? Again, not what it sounds like. You're going to have to find out for yourselves, because I'm not going to spoil it, but rest assured it's going to be a fun ride. So Greg Pak does a wonderful job capturing the spirit of both iconic characters, and it doesn't take long before you're reminiscing over your childhood, again wishing you could be mega cool like Jack or Snake. Artist Daniel Bayliss does a great job capturing the legendary Kurt Russell characters perfectly, but it's the coloring by Triona Farrell that really stands out for me. By the time Jack hits Oakland, Texas, we've gone from a fairly standard color palette to something which borderlines hypercolor with fluoro pinks, blues, and yellows that make every page pop, giving the comic that bright 80s feel that it deserves and we need. Or the other way around. It
Whatever
needs and
we
we
feel.
deserve.
Yeah.
Whatever we feel.
I'm gonna. What do you rate this comic?
Okay. I give it 4 throwing knives to the face out of 5. And in the words of the immortal Jack Burton, say, it's all in the reflexes.
All in the hips. Oh,
It's
sorry.
all in the hips.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a challenge to you.
Sure.
Now, I want your comic of the week to sell me on a comic, and I'll let you know if I actually read it. If you do your job properly, mate.
Okay. Well, how about this? I've literally just told you that a comic exists that takes Kurt Russell's character, Jack Burton, from the great 80s action movie Big Trouble in Little China, and it puts him against or with hero team up with Escape from New York, Escape from LA's Snake Plissken, also played by Kurt Russell. How could you not be sold on that?
Well, this is what I'm saying. You've actually sold me. Because
cool.
I think I've referenced, Escape from LA, Escape
You
from
have
New York
many times.
18 times.
Yep.
I've got a counter going.
Yep. That's this week.
And you've convinced me to read it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first here, episode 43. Cade is actually going to read a comic book.
Damn. You're going to...
The co-host of a show called Comic Confidential is actually going to read a comic book. It's amazing.
Yeah. So I'll fit that into my busy schedule of doing not much.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah,
Cool.
next week, convince me again.
Oh my God, this is my job now.
It's your job.
I was going to convince
It's
you to read
sticking
comics.
around.
I shouldn't have to convince you to read comics, man.
well,
Comics are the shit.
Well, they are the shit, but they're also shit.
They're going to have a throwdown and I
That
will
makes
commentate.
no sense.
Yeah.
A comic smackdown.
Yeah.
As
Dun,
it
dun,
were.
dun.
Convince me. That's your job from now on.
Oh, God, thank you, sir, for giving me the pleasure of convincing you to read comic books. Hey, guess what?
What?
That is it.
Woo!
We are done for another episode. Stained Tuna.
Yep.
Wow.
Stained Tuna next week.
It's really tasty.
is as we break down all the madness from the CW's killer crossover.
Keep thinking you're going to say,
Killer Frost
Yeah.
over.
or Killer Croc.
Well, see, for those that follow 90s basketball will understand that that's a pretty sweet Tim Hardaway reference.
That's a
Goal.
home run.
Yeah,
That's the best
That's
touchdown.
kicking
You
a
are
field
speaking
goal.
another language, sir.
Yeah. I just kicked a field goal, hole in one.
Nice.
So, yeah, what are we doing?
We're thanking people.
We're talking about the CW's killer crossover
Oh.
next week.
That's going to be good. I'm so looking forward to it, man. It's like, this is going to be the end all of all episodes.
Oh, look, if they do this right, this is the movie length version of all of these shows.
Yeah.
Just broken down over like 4 different days, but whatever. Hey, let's thank some people.
Let's.
Yes. Thank
Go
you,
on, man.
listeners, subscribers, and reviewers. Actually, I've got a challenge for the people.
Mm-hmm.
We are so close to 50 reviews. I want that by Christmas. That's my Christmas present.
Oh, please, everyone, give Kate a Christmas present of 50 reviews. What do I get?
Well, you
Also
also
50
get
reviews, so we have to share this.
Yeah, I have to share.
So we need 100.
Yeah. Can we get to 50 reviews by our Christmas special, which comes out, I think, like actually on the 24th or
Really?
something of Christmas? Yeah, I
I'm
hope
going
you
to be
guys
dressed in my finest.
hope you guys didn't have any Christmas plans because we're bringing out an episode.
Yeah, what's that going to be like? Top 5 Christmas movies,
How
so.
could it not be? Top 5 Christmas movies that aren't like straight out Christmas movies.
or like, how about we broaden it like top 5 Christmas specials?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
No.
I want
It'd be
some
like
like
Kiss
Tim. I want
Save
some
Christmas.
Yeah, I want some Tim the Tool Man.
Jesus Christ.
I think movies are good.
Yeah, can we just keep it at movies?
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone knows Die Hard's going to get number 1
Number
anyway.
Well,
Right.
so-
no, it might not. It could be Santa Claus. Actually, Bad Santa 2's. Bad Santa 2's come out.
Yeah.
How is Bad Santa 2 going to beat Bad Santa in this situation?
Never.
Well, who knows? Have you seen it yet?
And no, I haven't, but I guarantee you it's not going to be that good.
I got deja vu. Have we talked about this before?
I don't. Yeah, look,
Maybe.
we talk about a lot of shit on this show. Hey, 50 reviews by Christmas. Let's see how we do, kids.
Yep.
Hey, we're also on Facebook at Comic Confidential. That's a question mark. Instagram and Twitter at Comic Con Pod, and the link for YouTube is in the show notes. Now, make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter because that is where we are the most active.
Yeah.
So if you want to get involved in the show and, like Dan, get to choose the amazing comic of the week that everyone loves.
Dan has changed me.
Well, there you go. It's not actually me that's done it. These are just my words, but it's his suggestion
And
that has
Dan-
planted the seed.
Dan's like a top bloke. He's also a Patreon.
Oh, yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
Dan.
Dan,
The
man.
man.
Indeed.
Hey. Amy,
Yeah.
talk about Snapchat.
Oh, yeah, Snapchat. We have one of those, much to you may think we don't.
If you follow us, you might be like, do they though? Because I never see anything.
No, I promise you, leading up to Christmas, you're going to get so many snaps.
And Amy loves to chat on Snapchat.
I do.
So,
I
like,
do.
if you actually want to have a conversation with her, just hit her up.
Yeah. Because I know all the answers to all the things.
Yeah. Ask her lots about The Walking Dead.
Yep.
Uh,
Carl, beards, Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah, that's basically all it's about right now.
Now, we've also got a website. That's comicconpod.com. You can jump on there. You can actually catch all of Troy's Comic on the Weeks on there. We put them up as their own little thingy.
Oh, that's right. That does happen.
Yeah. So
Basically, it's just a transcript of what I say on this show.
in case you couldn't tell, Troy doesn't make that up on the spot.
Yeah, no. Let me tell you, if there's a written segment in this show, it's Comic of the Week. I am not that good.
Yeah.
Or am I?
Well,
You'll
next week
never
it's going to
know.
have to change. You're going to have to flash it up a bit, mate.
Ooh.
Got to convince me.
I'll just do a Flash comic.
Oh, my weakness. Godspeed.
Hey.
Do that.
Where are we up to? Patreon.
Oh, yeah, Patreon. We also got a Patreon. If you want to support the show, jump on there, get yourself some cool merch. I'm going to throw it out there, and I'm going to put Troy on the spot that we are doing a very Deadpool Christmas.
Yep. There you go. So, yeah, we did discuss ages ago that our first, what's it called? Movie commentary episode will be Deadpool because it takes us back full circle to episode 1, which is great if you listen to it. So we're going to do that, and we're going to have that out before Christmas.
Yeah.
In the lead up to Christmas at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your guys' Christmas presents. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys get that. And,
If you pay $1.
Yeah. But, what else are you going to get for $1?
Nothing. You can't even get a soft serve cone. Oh, can you?
No, because
Yeah.
the machine's always fucking broken.
Yeah.
McFlurry, lol jokes. I'll just get an empty cone.
Yeah. No, they don't even do the cones half the time.
Anyway.
Fucking wankers. And what else have we got? We've also got the loot crate, and we've got the pretty cool deal over at Comic Blitz. If you use the promo code ComicConPod upon sign up, you get your first month free.
Yeah. Now, don't get confused with the fact that you already get a free month. With that, you actually get a free month of their ultimate package, which is the best of the packages.
That's everything.
It's the
The
ultimate
cream
one.
of the crop.
Yeah.
Is that
Indeed.
all? That's all.
So, thanks for listening, you guys. As always, I'm Troy,
I'm Cade.
And I'm Amy.
and this has been Comic Confidential.
Peace.
See ya.
Peace.
Every week.
Or do they?
Oh, do they? Another long episode, eh?
Yeah, what are we going to do?
It's all right. We're fucking amazing. So
All right, take
Whoa.
it easy, champ.
Someone's blowing their own horn.